there's something powerful and I'm gonna use the word holy. There's something
Hey.
power there's something powerful and holy about being with another person who is struggling, and there is something powerful and holy about allowing someone else to be with us when we are in pain, when we are suffering, when we are experiencing loss.
Mm,
And I say being with because I think being with means I'm sitting next to you and I'm holding your hand. Or if that's not possible, being with means I'm having a phone call with you. It doesn't mean I am scrolling through social media for hours every day and being flooded by the grief of the world. We're not designed to do that as embodied beings. That's not possible for us, and it's not sustainable, and it's not kind.
agreed. Hard agree. Okay, a couple of times in this conversation, you've referenced the more than human world. And earlier, you said, "How do I be more than human in a climate changing world?" Which, as a science fiction and speculative fiction writer, I was like, I love that question. Or, what do you mean? When you say, "How do I be more than human in a climate changed world?" Like, why? And what do you mean?
Mhm. Yeah. The phrase more than human world is from David Abram, Abram. He's an American ecologist and philosopher. So I want to give credit where credit is due. My understanding of that phrase is that he came up with the more than human world as a way of expanding our sense of what we mean when we say the natural world. We tend to divide up the world between like the human
Mm,
world of concrete and computers and human bodies and the natural world. There's this,
so out there.
yeah, out there. We're here, it's out there. That's not real, right? We are we are beings on this planet. We are made of stardust. We are made of dirt. We are made of one another's exhale breath. I mean,
We're made of
we
parasites.
yeah, we're made of parasites. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of
What's not inside of us?
yes, exactly. Yeah, and where do we end, right? Where do we end in the and does the world be it? But that's we could go on.
Right.
So, the more than human world is an acknowledgement of everything that exists beyond the limits of our body and recognizes also that as human beings, as Homo sapiens, we are simply one species in a world on a planet that is teeming with millions upon millions. I think so. I'm not a biologist of other species, right?
It sounds right to me. Well, you had said, "How do I be more than human in a climate changing world?" Which I was really struck by the phrasing of that question, or
Yeah,
the sort
yeah,
of like calling into like becoming something more than what we've been as a
mm,
way to respond to these conditions.
yeah, yeah. Climate change is, from a biologist's perspective, stimulating the earliest parts of our evolutionary human selves. So it short circuits the newer parts of our thinking brain and our feeling brain and really just, like pokes at the earliest part of our brain that is wired to identify threat and wired to react to threat as a result of being faced with threat, fight or flee or freeze or thaw. When we are facing uncertainty, when we are facing threat, we are not able to access our thoughtfulness. We're not able to access our open hearts. We're just acting out of urgency. And when we're in this reactive state, it's harder for us to respond to what's actually happening and respond with patience and clarity and openness and care.
Hmm.
And so when we talk about being human beings in a time of climate change, often what we're referring to is the struggle that we face when looking at threat. And what we're referring to is the fight, flight, freeze, fawn mechanism. Um, and so when I say, how can we be more than human in this time of change? What I'm wondering is, how can we be learning from other species about how to survive times of leanness, how to evolve, how to care for one another, how to reach across boundaries, how to make sure that everyone is nourished in a time of scarcity. So that's what I mean when I mean becoming more than human.
Beautiful.